So again, we've got, women, especially famous women, in this case, a nominally famous woman, telling their abortion stories in response to Roe. So here's Ireland Baldwin, who's the daughter of famous gunman Alec Baldwin, telling her own story. And she starts, for some reason, talking about the time she was raped. And she did not conceive a child during the rape. So that the rape had nothing to do with the abortion whatsoever, but she starts by talking about that. And then eventually she gets around to talking about the time she actually conceived through consensual sex and then decided to abort. And I want you to listen to the reason that she gives. Listen.
Flash forward to another point in my life when I did have a boyfriend and I did become pregnant. At that point in time, I would say we were very unhappy together, and he made it pretty clear that he never wanted kids or marriage. He barely wanted to be in a serious relationship. I chose to get an abortion because I know exactly what it felt like to be born between two people who hated each other. Could I have had that baby and put that baby up for adoption? Maybe, maybe not. But choosing to raise a baby without my own financial security, without a loving and supportive partner, that wasn't going to work for me. I chose me, and I would choose me again. It's your life. It's your choice.
Now, this is great. I mean, the reasoning, everything you heard there is not great, but the fact that she's saying this is great. And I want more feminists and pro-abortion women to be honest and say this kind of stuff out loud, because people need to hear it. The vast majority of abortion in this country, they have nothing to do with rape, nothing to do with life of the mother, anything like that. These very rare cases like that, it's nothing. It's just exactly what you heard there. It's someone who had consensual sex, got pregnant, and could I put it up for adoption? Maybe, maybe not. What do you mean, maybe, maybe not? Of course you could have put the child up for adoption. Yeah, I just didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like it. That's what she said. I didn't feel like giving birth to the child and going through the process of putting him up for adoption. And so just killed the child because I chose me. And that is the pro-abortion argument. Okay, you whittle everything else away, get rid of all the euphemisms, everything else, all the talking points, all the propaganda, cut all of that BS away, and what you're left with is exactly what you just heard there. I chose me. And there's quite a bit of incoherence mixed in, because she also says, well, I know what it's like to be born to parents who don't want me. Okay, well, that's terrible that you were born in, that you lived in that situation as a child. And it sounds like your parents are pretty awful. In fact, we know that they're awful people. But you're happy that you're alive, though, right? So you were born into a terrible situation, but you're still living. I mean, you haven't killed yourself, thank God. And so clearly you're happy to be alive. And not only are you happy to be alive, but your life is, as you attest, your life is extremely important. In fact, you believe that your life is more important than anything else. Your life is so important that it comes above the life of your own child. You could kill, your life, according to you, is so important that you could kill your own child just to protect your own convenience and your own lifestyle. And that is in spite of the fact that you were essentially, as you say, an unwanted child, tragically. So what does that tell us? It tells us that even if a child is born into a situation like this, they are still worth something. They're not worth something. They have infinite value because it's a human life, all the same. Can't expect her to connect those dots, though. I know you're craving some more Matt Walsh Show content. Well, I have some great news for you. If you head over to dailywire.com and subscribe now, you can watch or listen to my full show. You can also listen to my podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. I'll see you there.